Let's now speak live to our correspondent, Paul Njie, who joins us from Yaoundé. Paul, good to see you there. Maybe start by giving us your sense of the significance of this warning, this announcement by the United Nations Human Rights Office, their concerns about the political restrictions that they are seeing in Cameroon.
Hi there, Wahiga. So this warning by the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, comes at a very critical moment because Cameroonians are expecting elections on the 12th of October. And people are saying that with the crackdowns on the opposition, the exclusion of some opposition candidates, and of course, as Volker Turk did say, the threats and intimidation of some candidates and their supporters, there doesn't appear to be a conducive environment for elections, and that there wouldn't probably be a peaceful kind of electoral process. So they are urging the government to ensure that this is upheld. Volker Turk did also cite the case of about 53 people who were arrested last month outside the Constitutional Council premises when they went to hear the election petitions after candidates were excluded from the presidential race, and he said that people should not be arrested for reasons like that. So people are saying that ahead of the polls, things really seem uncertain.
For those who may not have followed developments in Cameroon closely, why were certain candidates excluded from the upcoming election, and how unusual would you say that is?
Well, the electoral body judged that they did not meet certain criteria laid down for candidates. And in the case of the opposition leader, Maurice Kamto, they said the party which endorsed him fielded more than one candidate. That's two candidates, and that it did not meet the criteria. But then there are others who did not pay the financial dues that were necessary. Others did not present complete documents. But in terms of sidelining candidates, it's not very usual. What is usual really in Cameroon is that some candidates will decide to boycott. But people are saying that with the exclusion of Professor Maurice Kamto this time around, there appeared to have been a ploy beforehand to oust him from the race.
Do you anticipate that this could affect voter turnout, or how the results will be viewed when they are finally announced?
Well, I would say it remains to be seen, Wahiga, because this warning from the UN Human Rights Commissioner is really severe and it should be taken with much attention. So we'll just have to observe how things go. But people are saying that if things are not, rectified, that might play into the voter turnout on that day, because the opposition had been criticizing, the electoral process, and in terms of voter registration, they said it's not very clear, not very transparent. So they doubt that the elections will be free and fair. But the Electoral Commission is promising that these will be free and fair.
Based off past elections and from what you're seeing now, what who do you anticipate seeing in terms of election observers, and how helpful will their presence be in addressing some of the concerns, and speaking about some of the concerns raised by the United Nations?
Well, there will be different election observers to come in. The Interior Ministry will have to validate those, and I'm sure publish the list of those approved. But the UN also has been brought in as a partner in this. They signed a partnership agreement, a partnership assistance agreement with the electoral body, which will see them train electoral officials and help with logistics. So the UN, of course, is coming in as a partner that should be relied on, even though the opposition did question the intention behind bringing the UN to the electoral process of Cameroon. But as things unfold, we'll definitely see how free, fair, and of course open the elections will be for everyone to participate in.
Paul Njie, thank you so much for that update. I'm sure we'll be speaking with you regularly in the coming days as the countdown to that election continues.